Hey guys, it's Tone Motivates with another episode of Shades of Tone. And today we're going to be discussing embracing your inner quirk, overcoming fear and embracing vulnerability on the path to authenticity. So, welcome to today's quirky journey into the heart of authenticity. We're going to explore how overcoming fear and embracing vulnerability can lead us to our truest, most authentic lives. But don't worry, we'll keep it light, fun, and maybe even a little weird, because y'all know how I do, boo. So one of my favorite quirky quotes is by Albert Hubbard, and he basically says, "Do not take life too seriously. You will never get out of it alive." I love that. I know I'm so corny, guys, but that's why I hear y'all love my corniness. So let's jump right into it. Let's chat about the quirky nature of fear. Now, let's start by acknowledging that fear is like that overprotective friend who thinks they're doing a favor by stopping you from doing anything remotely risky. They don't want you to jaywalk, and they don't want you to drink soda. They don't want you to go to bed too late. You better not have no alcohol. You better not want to try nothing risky. Like, they don't want you to do nothing. And basically, fear whispers in your ear, stay in your comfort zone. It's cozy here with all the familiarity and none of the challenges. But here's the kicker. Fear's advice is outdated. It's like trying to run the latest app on a phone from 2003, which was the year that I graduated. It just doesn't compute with the world of authenticity and growth. Fear is quirky because it often doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of our lives. It's afraid of being judged, of failing, of not being good enough. And all of us have felt that way in some time or another in our lives. So I want you to try this activity. Think of one fear that you have. When you really think about it, it's kind of silly, isn't it? Write it down and give it a funny name. For example, the great speech fulminator for a fear of public speaking. Now with vulnerability, we can try the awkward dance, okay? Now let's talk about vulnerability. If fear is that overprotective friend, vulnerability is the friend who's always like, just be yourself, man. Vulnerability is awkward, like dancing in public when you really don't know the moves, which I always do. My friends be like, please do not show your ass in this club. But you know I am, because I don't give a damn, okay? But it's also where the magic happens. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you're opening up to the possibility of connection. You're saying, hey world, this is me, quirks and all. And guess what? People are drawn to that kind of honesty. It's relatable, it's real, and it's where true relationships are formed. A quirky fact. Did you know that the word vulnerable comes from the Latin vulnerare, which means to wound? Embracing vulnerability means accepting that, yes, you might get hurt, but you might also find something amazing on the other side. Let that sink in, guys. Now that we've befriended our fear and accepted the awkwardness of vulnerability, let's get into the authenticity zone. Authenticity is like the quirky little town where everyone knows your name and you're free to be exactly who you are. Being authentic doesn't mean being perfect. It means being real. It's about embracing your quirks, your imperfections, and even your mistakes. When you're authentic, you're living in alignment with your true self. And that's where you find the deepest sense of fulfillment. Now, y'all know my motto, live in your truth. And I absolutely love that motto, and it will continue to be my motto. I don't think it's something that I will ever grow out of, because it's so many people out there that just want to hop on the bandwagon and they don't even know who their true selves are. They never let that little person within them shine. It's always okay. Let me fit in. Now, granted, I do know when I need to fit in. I do know when to take advantage of situations and when to play my part, stay in my lane, or whatever the case may be. We all take advantage of opportunities at one point or another. But I never let myself get so deep in said situation that I am losing myself or I am getting away from who I am authentically. So if that means I'm a little quieter because I'm observant, that's one thing. But I'm not going to sit there and listen to an entire conversation knowing that I got some input and something that actually matters and some facts and receipts, boo, because you know I carry them around, and not say anything. Now, it's one thing with being obnoxious, but at the end of the day, I am confident knowing that I have something to bring to the table. Okay? So let's try this activity. Write down one quirky thing about yourself that you usually try to hide. Now, think about how you can embrace this quirk instead of hiding it. What's one small step you can take to show this part of yourself to the world? So an example of that for me is when I was younger, I was very shy. Very shy. I grew up in a private school. I didn't really go to public school, so I was like in 5th grade. It was a completely different environment. I had like 3 really close friends, and people used to kind of like step over me. And one of the first times I remember really standing up for myself, I was in 5th grade. There were 2 5th grade classes, and I was friends with 3 Spanish girls, and I was the only black girl out of the group, but that didn't matter. I never really saw color. And in the other class, there were a bunch of black girls, and I was maybe the only black girl in my class. So around this time, 1995, this is Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, One Sweet Day. This is Monica, Before You Walk Out of My Life, all of that. And we were all preparing for the DARE graduation. If you were born in the 80s and 90s, y'all know what I'm talking about with the DARE graduation. You was showing up and showing off, honey, okay? So the day came, and we all decided that, me and the other black girls all decided that we were going to do Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey, One Sweet Day. And guess what? That day came, and they straight up told me, oh, we want to basically mock the number of people that are actually in it. So that's 4 Boyz II Men members and 1 Mariah Carey. It was 5 of them. They did not want me to be a part of it. So I'm heartbroken, like, what? And I could really sing? Like, why would they? Like, it was just, they just seemed really bullyish to me. And, to fast forward a little bit, one of them were bullies and the rest of them were followers. So they probably did want me to do it. I was probably the only one that actually sung out of all of them. You know what I mean? So I would have made them look well, but they tried to play me. So you know what I did? Tonya Jr. called Tonya Sr. down the street at my house, because our apartment complex was the only complex on the same side as the elementary and the middle school in Avenel, New Jersey. And I said, Ma, can you please bring my little tote bag? And I had a little tote bag with a small boombox and all of the tapes that I got from Tape World at Woodbridge Mall in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Because I know back in the day we had tapes, right? And my mom was there in about 15, 20 minutes. And I went through it, and automatically when I saw Monica, I knew this was it. So the girls went up, they did their little audition, and then they thought that was it. Nope. Who's next? It's Tonya Lynette Franklin, baby. And I got up there, I sung my song, and I sung it even harder when it came to the day of the DARE graduation. And after that, I was in every damn talent show, anything that had anything to do with performing, I was there. I was in chorus from middle school through high school. And from then, I just started to shine because they really tried to take that spotlight from me. And maybe they were threatened. Maybe they were just being mean. I don't know. We were kids. We were 10 years old, 10 years old. But at the end of the day, I was like, nah, I want to be a part of this. And I am going to be a part of that. And I vividly remember that. And I will never forget singing. Never meant to cause you no pain. All right? So let's get back to it. I always sidebar and stuff like that. So let's get back to the side bar, to the actual bar, to the non-sided stuff. So, guys, with writing down that quirky thing about yourself that you usually try to hide, really think about it. What's something that you would genuinely enjoy, that's something a part of you, something that you would love to tell people when you meet them? Write it down and just start taking little small steps. If that's public speaking and maybe doing comedy, there are comedy programs that you can join to get more confidence and learn the in and outs of comedy sketches and all that stuff. If it's singing, you already know that it's little programs you could join for singing. And a lot of stuff is online. YouTube University, baby, is my favorite. I am always tuned in. I watch that like TV. I watch that more than anything that I watch, okay? Anything that I actually pay attention to or stream or whatever the case may be is usually on YouTube. So let's wrap it up. Remember that overcoming fear, embracing vulnerability, and stepping into authenticity is a process. It's not about being perfect. It's about being true to yourself. So the next time fear tries to keep you in your comfort zone or vulnerability feels too awkward to bear, just remember the quirks are what make you, you. So your homework? Go out and embrace one quirk today. Show the world your authentic self and see what happens. You might just find that the path to authenticity is a whole lot more fun than you ever imagined. Thank you, Motives, for joining this quirky journey with me. Keep being you because no one else can do it quite like you. As always, always love. To respond to a question, make a suggestion for an episode, to be a guest, or give feedback, reach out to us at info@tonemotivates.com. You can also find us on social media at Tone Motivates on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and at Shades of Tone _podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can find us at tonemotivates.com, where all of those links are as well.